It's a great question. It goes well beyond receiving care digitally. I think that's just a component that is helpful, useful, provides a different access point to get to therapy more quickly. But I do think it's significantly broader. And the increase in the pipeline today of products and medications that are more and more expensive, but treating a broader percentage of the population in more chronic conditions and disease states is also creating more need for digital solutions. So if your medication's $1,000 and it requires a prior authorization, it's very unlikely you're going to get support to navigate that journey of a prior authorization and financial assistance programs available at a retail counter when you have to wait in line and the pharmacist is trying to fill thousands of scripts a day. That's not really set up to handle those types of medications really effectively for a patient. So as I look at it, I think that's going to need to evolve quickly. And there are great tools in the marketplace. We're launching some new capabilities that are really going to help manufacturers and patients get on therapy more quickly and solve some of those problems using digital tools. I don't want people to call me and talk to me about my benefits. I'd much rather transact quickly, answer questions, move on with life through my phone than kind of some of the more traditional handheld specialty product models, which are primarily they work well, but they are really designed for those true specialty products that are very, very costly.
Sarah said it well. It's not just about telemedicine visits and telehealth visits with pharmacists. The COVID pandemic drove a lot of that, and we were sort of forced into those models to make that happen, to make access to medical care easier. But as Sarah said, it goes more broadly than that. How do we address some of the affordability issues that impact patients today? And we can do that with new digital innovation, digital tools, and very importantly, I think, address some of the lack of collaboration that occurs in the industry today, and really use digital tools to improve that collaboration, exchanging information with various entities along that channel to make sure the patient is getting the best options. And as I said a moment ago, really addressing that affordability issue for patients. I think we always have to be careful about overprescribing. I don't see any of the recent trends for digital innovation really contributing to overprescribing per se, but certainly always something that we want to be cognizant of. I think what the digital innovations that we're trying to promote, support, develop is in an effort to reduce some of the complexity of the healthcare system, especially when it comes to pharmacy, and some of that patient frustration, and really streamline that process for patients.
I agree. I think some of the bad players in the market who were perpetuating, overprescribing or risky prescribing, not really having an established relationship with the patient that could put them, at risk, or create scenarios where there's black market sales of medications, stockpiling, those sorts of things. I think a lot of that's gotten rooted out. You've seen those brands in the news, and they're no longer with us, right? Those companies have either evolved or they're no longer in business. And with any rapid evolution of investment and advancement in growth of solutions in the market in any industry, you're going to see some of that. But it's a curve, and I think we're kind of coming down to a more normalized point.